First, I would like to welcome to the stage, the virtual stage, Darrin. Darrin Johnson. Darrin Johnson is a public school teacher and a member of the Black Power Collective Inland Empire that is formerly known as Black Lives Matter Inland Empire. He grew up and still does live in poverty, and as such has seen firsthand the horrors of white supremacy, religiosity, and capitalism. Though political minded since the Bush administration, Darrin began actively organizing during the Obama administration when the Black Lives Matter movement began. Since then, he's learned the roles of the Democratic Party and how it reinforces the very systems that Black Lives Matter originally claimed to be against. Darrin is inspired by a love for his people and the need to see them free, and he believes that revolutionary organizing and socialism are the means by which liberation can be achieved. And yo, it's all you. We can't wait to hear from you, man. It's all yours, Darrin.
And I'm unmuted. Can everybody hear me okay? Check. Good? Okay. I see all those. Oh, man. Before I even begin, just right off what Carmen just said, man, what Jeff just said. Doing the organizing that I have here in the Inland Empire, for those of you who are not familiar, the Inland Empire is a densely populated area about 70 miles east of Los Angeles in the United States, in California. And the organizing that I've done here, we definitely have felt separated from the rest of the world. And many times, even as when we were a chapter of the Black Lives Matter network, we still felt isolated. We still felt like we still, not past tense, feel like everything that we do is insulated and just in our community. And honestly, to be here right now and see so many people and see all these messages from around the world it's getting me. Like, it's got me emotional. I came in here with so much to say, but I see all your faces. I see the determination. Today, over the course of our conversations, we're gonna feel the gamut of emotions. We're gonna feel anger. We're gonna feel joy. We're gonna feel accomplishment. But right now, I just want to take in the fact that we're all here, that we all have this common purpose of either learning how to combat, of learning how to combat capitalism, white supremacy, imperialism. And I've never felt more connected to the world than I do right now, honestly. This really is an international struggle. And honestly, right now, first things I want to say is all power to us, comrades, like around the world. Like this is seriously powerful to see all of you right now. It's really got me a little emotional, I gotta be honest. But let me get through the emotions a bit and actually get directly to what I wanted to talk about. So what I wanted to focus on was, again, I kind of talked about it a little bit. I'm part of the Black Power Collective, which operates out of the Inland Empire, and we are, of course, formerly known as Black Lives Matter Inland Empire. Formerly known as. We, of course, recently separated ourselves from the network very publicly, and I'm going to go over the reasons for that. We were, of course, inspired by the BLM 10. I do see representatives of the BLM 10 here. Solidarity to you, comrades. Like, boom, it is good to see you. So we were inspired by that, and we decided to take it a little further because, of course, we are one of the geographically closest chapters to BLM-LA, and BLM-LA is probably the biggest, most visible Black Lives Matter chapter. They're very closely connected to the BLM Global Network. And so we saw a lot of what they are doing firsthand, and we've had issues with them going back for years. And it finally became time for us to say something, because honestly, if we really believe in Black liberation, then seeing those that are taking advantage of those of us that are on the ground, the true grassroots, the true power of the people that are coming out in their neighborhoods, the people that are coming out in their communities, the people that are going face to face with the cops in their neighborhoods, the people that are in their unions, people that are out there fighting, for all those people to be taken advantage of. If we were to remain silent, we'd be doing you all a disservice, and quite frankly, it would be an act of betrayal on our part for us to not speak up on our experiences and let people know that what's going on here is not right. So by now, I'm not sure how many people here know this, but the news has come out, of course, that the Black Lives Matter Global Network has amassed at least $90 million. $90 million. It's a hell of a lot of money. I want you all to know multiple networks have not seen any of this. BLM 10, the Black Power Collective, formerly BLMIE, we didn't know that. That network has been getting donations from big corporations, from celebrities, and whenever this would happen, people would come to us in San Bernardino, in Riverside, cities that are part of the Inland Empire, and they would ask us, hey, how's that, Jay-Z money? How's that, Soros money? And we'd be like, we don't know what the hell you're talking about. And for a while there, we thought it was because it wasn't really happening. No, it was happening. It's just that we weren't seeing any of that. All that money that was supposed to go into our communities that we were fighting for, we had to actually do all of our organizing ourselves. We of course did have people donating to us. And of course the money that we had, the Black Power Collective, we put back out in the community. We've done mutual aid. We've tried feeding our communities. We've of course done direct actions. We've shut shit down in Riverside and San Bernardino. And so our community has helped uplift us, and we, as a result, have put that back in the community. This has not come with any help from the Global Network. What has the Global Network been doing with $90 million? The Global Network has a PAC, BLM PAC, which is a political action committee, and basically it's made for raising money for the Democratic Party. Very prominent members of the Democratic Party of BLM, I should say, such as Melina Abdullah and Patrice Cullors, have shown themselves to be ardent supporters of the Democratic Party. I mean, we've seen photo ops with, in particular, Melina Abdullah. She's very visible, possibly the most visible member of the LA chapter of BLM, and we've seen her with Kamala Harris. Y'all, Kamala Harris, for those of you who don't know, Kamala Harris here in California has shown that she is doing everything that she can to reinforce the prison industrial complex. Everything she can. This includes literally fighting against releasing prisoners from prisons because she thinks that we need to have them as a source of labor. She literally fought against releasing prisoners because we need to have them as a source of labor. She said that. She is literally advocating for the modern day equivalent of slave labor. And yet you have a member of Black Lives Matter who's doing photo ops with this woman. A woman who has denied or actually defended the denial of a trans woman getting gender affirmation surgery. A woman who has pushed for arresting the parents of children that were not going to school, which of course hurts the Black and brown communities more than anyone else. This woman is anti-Black. This woman is pro-cop. This woman is capitalist as hell. How could any organization that calls themselves Black Lives Matter support a person like this? How could an organization that calls itself Black Lives Matter support the Democratic Party? Joe Biden, the author of the 1994 crime bill, which has put more Black and brown people behind bars than any other legislation since the legislation that was introduced during the war on drugs. In San Bernardino, where I was born and where I grew up, part of the Inland Empire, I saw, without realizing it at the time, I saw the transformation of my community by the 1994 crime bill, which had extremely racist language applied to it. I saw how it transformed. I saw people in my community disappear. I saw schools and communities empty because so many people in our communities were being arrested and taken away for just petty charges. It literally caused a gradual decay of San Bernardino. And I went into Black Lives Matter back in 2015, bushy-eyed and bushy-tailed and big-eyed and like, hey, I'm gonna make a difference here. And I saw the news and I saw everything about how BLM was gonna fight the cops and how BLM was gonna make Black Lives Matter. And and I was hyped because I was still into the whole representation thing about how important representation is. And I'm like, hey, and this is a movement that's led by 3 Black queer women. Shoot, we're gonna make a difference this time. This is different. Fast forward to now. The Democratic Party has once again commandeered a movement that was at one point grassroots. And let me tell you, folks, it is still largely grassroots. The people that are really doing the work are in so many different cities across the country. Some of them you might not have even ever heard of, but we're out here. We're out there. We're doing it. To see that this organization has now been taken over essentially by the Democratic Party, by people that are trying to gain clout with the Democratic Party, has shown that that BLM has become everything that we were told we were not about. Working with the cops, supporting politicians, endorsing politicians that are very literally endorsed by cops and cop unions. Herb Wesson in LA, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, as I mentioned. It's a damn shame. But I don't want people to be disheartened by this. The whole goal, the whole point of us being here is that we can still build that movement that BLM initially claimed it was going to be. That we can still build a true grassroots movement, that we can come together, that we can organize, that we can create real networks that are really for the people, that are really putting our resources into our communities. This $90 million that BLM, the Global Network, has, why aren't they holding meetings to determine how the community spends that money? How is it that the Black community is so horribly impacted by COVID and there's been no support? I would assume that with $90 million, there's a hell of a lot that could be done. Why are there still organizers? Not even just the Black Lives Matter, because let's be clear, everyone, not every single organizer, not every single Black organizer is part of BLM, but even then still, even around the world, but even in this country, how are there Black organizers that are, still having to pay bails, or somewhere that's still imprisoned? How is that still a thing when you have a global network that's supposed to be fighting for Black lives that has $90 million? How is this happening, people? How is this, what person? I honestly wonder how the folks in charge of, the global network can look at themselves in the mirror, realizing they've been sitting on all that money, amassing all that money, something that us socialists are absolutely fighting against, people that hoard money and take it away from the communities. How could they do that? There should not be anybody that has been organizing. We should not still be in prison right now, as long as things can be paid off. There should not be Black folks suffering from COVID-19. There shouldn't be organizers in actual Black Lives Matter chapters that are fighting to be in their homes. There are some members and some chapters that are literally going to be homeless. They're fighting homelessness. What the hell is this? People, the fact that we're here today, we can build true international solidarity, true international networks. We can fight capitalism. We can fight white supremacy. It is a fight that is absolutely winnable. And it's a fight that absolutely, hopefully, we're all here to be a part of. Please do not let the Global Network and the Democratic Party, like, take up, the way that they're taking up our language of revolution. They say revolution a lot. You'll see them using Fred Hampton and his quote and cutting off the part about, we don't fight, we don't fight capitalism with black capitalism. We fight it with socialism. They're going to leave off that last part. Don't let the Democratic Party fool you. Do not let the Global Network fool you. There are really people that are doing the work. If you really want to work with people and if you really want to contribute, find your local grassroots organizations. Find them around the world, find them in the country, and donate and work with them. I will absolutely say this right now. The Global Network, they've got $90 million. They don't need any more of your money. They're hoarding enough of it as is. They really don't. And even if it's, and I'm not even speaking specifically for my organization, seriously, I am about, doing this around the world and around the country. Give to whoever is in your proximity and who you see doing actual work, not amassing millions of dollars. There's so much that, I could touch on here, but yes, I realize that I'm going over time now. So thank you very much. Solidarity and all power to everyone. I want to know this is beautiful. You're all beautiful. And we're going to build that movement that BLM was originally supposed to be. We're going to do this, folks. Love you all. I love seeing this. I love seeing this power. All power to the people. Love you all.